Hi guys, we are on episode 3 of Ali TalksTech. It is a fantastic day here in Nairobi at the studio. Today, I have a superb guest, Harry Hare. You know, I'm going to tell you something about Harry. Harry tells everybody else's story but his own. But his own. You know, he's what I call our unsung African hero. So I forced him, kicking and screaming into my studio today. Harry, karibu.
Asante Ali. Thank you very much for having me on your podcast, and really feel privileged and honored to be here.
Thanks, Harry. You know, Harry tells everyone's story. But today, in the next 30 to 40 minutes, I want Harry to tell his story. So let's start by a very quick, who is Harry? Harry Hare. And guys, it's not Harry Hare. It's Harry Hare. The R is not silent. Are we together? The R is not silent. Harry Hare. Who is Harry?
You know, that's a very difficult question for me to answer.
Okay. You can start from the beginning.
Yeah, but Harry is just Harry, man. It's me. It's somebody who, you know, born in a very remote location of this country. A lot of people, when I tell them where I come from, they're like, "Is that in Israel? Or is it where is that?" So, you know, because actually I tell people it's, you know, two out of 10 people know where Rabai is.
True. Some people will tell you that it's in Mombasa.
Yes, and no, guys, it's not in Mombasa. It's Rabai. And you know, a lot of people actually need to know that, you know, in history, you know, Rabai played a very critical role. A lot of the missionaries, that's where they first landed, and that's where we have one of the oldest churches in Eastern Central Africa. It's in Rabai. There's a small museum there. But anyway, that's my background. That's where I come from. I was born in Nairobi, but that's where I come from. Yeah, what else do you want to know, Ali? That's about it. That's Harry.
How many kids were you growing up?
Oh, okay. So I have 3 other siblings. So we're 4 in our family. I have 3 daughters who are now out of the nest.
Wow. See?
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, we started early.
Yes.
We started early.
That we did. That we did.
Yeah, so that's my family, and you know, we grew up not in your typical Harvard kind of scenario, raised by a single mom, a really hardworking lady who had to take us through to school and through to universities. Wow. You know, so I give her hash. I respect her for that.
100%.
Other than that, you know, we grew up decently. We didn't miss a meal, at least. We were, you know, struggling, but we didn't miss a meal. But not from the riches that we see around us.
Great. Harry, I recall the first time I met you with a backpack selling PC World. Tell us how you got into tech publishing. You know, I started my episode 1 on saying I want to tell the African tech story, but I think you've been at it for a while. How did you find yourself getting into tech publishing, and how has it been?
It's been a journey. So maybe I take you back a bit.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of these things, you know, they need some bit of context.
Context, correct.
Actually, if you look at my entrepreneurial journey, I'll tell guys, you know, this is some crazy stuff. But when you start doing entrepreneurship, you don't even realize you're doing it. So let me tell you, in the school I went to, and I didn't go to a fancy school like yours.
Shots fired.
but the school I went to, so we had 2 types of people. We had the haves and the have-nots.
Okay.
Very distinct. You can see this guy is from a very loaded family, and this one is from a struggling family.
Okay.
And so the school used to provide us with Rexona. I don't know if you remember Rexona.
I do.
This soap.
I do, yes.
So they used to provide us with Rexona and the Panga soap.
Rexona ya kuoga,
Panga
ya
soap
kufua.
for washing your clothes.
Okay.
A lot of the kids, especially the rich kids, used to come with their own soap, man. They come with Imperial leather, Lux.
I remember Imperial leather, man. If you had Imperial leather,
yeah. So there was that. So they didn't have use for Rexona.
Yes.
So me and a good friend of mine, God rest his soul in peace, he's dead now. Jimmy, he was called Jimmy. We used to collect the Rexona. Rexona. So you can imagine collecting Rexona from about 400 old kids. Then we collect them, put them in our dorms, and then we pack them, and then we go and sell them at the shopping center
outside the school.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So we used to be distributors
For Rexona. Okay.
Yeah, we used to distribute Rexona in Ruiru.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's where the entrepreneurship bag actually caught me. But moving forward from your question now, CIO, PC World, all these were actually a build-up. From
your Rexona distribution days.
Yes. Because even when I went to university,
please help me connect Rexona and tech publishing.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
So there was Rexona, then there was the T Squares. You remember T Squares?
Yes.
So we used to, when we went to university, we found a place in River Road where they used to sell cheap T Squares. Because at the university bookshop, they used to sell them for like 3,000 bob. I know university guys are always looking for deals.
Correct.
So we found a shop in River Road. They used to sell them for about 1,200 T squares. Yeah. And every engineering student
must have a
T square. So we used to buy them at 1,200 and sell them for 2,200 at the university. They used to go like hotcake. So every time there's a new batch of engineering student coming to the.
This is classic information asymmetry.
Complete.
Because you have guys who have no clue or will not even bother going to River Road.
Yeah.
You sussed out your ways until you got to River Road buying T-Square. From River Road to main campus, Nairobi Uni.
About a G.
About 1,000 shillings. Oh my God. Go on.
Yeah, so we did that. Then we also discovered people. I don't know if you remember, these guys used to like dubbing music.
I remember.
Yeah, so we and people were
cassettes.
There was these cassettes, and guys used to like TDK.
TDK was like the top.
Yeah, TDK with chrome dioxide.
Kabisa.
Yeah, so we also found those ones down River Road. So we also used to sell those ones in campus, and this was like mass market. T squares were very niche.
Yes,
and
TDK was mass.
TDK was mass market. So that's where all this entrepreneurship journey began. And when now moved out of campus, the first thing that I started doing was I just got into. In fact, before I even left campus, the first, I used to be as fascinated by technology. So looking at, that time people were talking about the internet. You're like, what is this internet thing? So you dig. There was no Google. So it's about looking for magazines, looking for.
So let me just take you one step back.
Yes.
You just said there was no Google. Probably there was no Chrome. There was no Explorer. What were you guys using to search for stuff?
There were programs. I forget the name now, but there were programs. They used to have. So CompuServe was one of the biggest companies that people would go to. There was bulletin boards.
Bulletin boards.
Yeah,
yes.
they used to be bulletin boards, and that's where people used to post information. And then, if you know how to do it, you'll get to a bulletin board and
then you click and click and click
and get information. I think that was the beginning of search.
What? Late 90s?
Yeah, about
mid to late 90s?
About mid 90s, I think. Yeah, but the thing is, that time magazines were really a big information source. Yes. So I used to really look
magazines, book magazines.
Yes. Magazines yes,
those ones. Okay.
Magazines which you have to turn the pages and read. So that's where my interest began.
Okay.
While I was reading, I was also practicing. So I used to do a bit of coding as well. Self-taught from magazines.
That I didn't know.
Yeah,
and you and I have known each other for many years.
Yeah,
see? Things are starting to come out now.
Yeah, so a bit of code, writing payroll. There was a friend of mine actually who was a big influencer in this space called Mike Kabue, Mike Hare.
Yes.
So we used to do a lot of things with him, and some of these things are the ones that actually brought me to where I am.
Yeah.
Where I started feeling like I have a lot of information, and I know there's a lot of people who probably would benefit from that information. And therefore, I just decided that I need to start sharing that info.
Wow.
And that's how I got into publishing.
So, CIO Magazine 0.0. Tell us a bit about that.
So, CIO 1.0 was probably about 7 years after PC World had died. Because the first publication that we did was called a Microcomputer Guide. Myself and one Mr. Andrew Karanja. So Microcomputer Guide was just a local publication where we just did our thing. We are excited about tech.
Yes.
We're young from university, young and restless and careless and just fearless. And we wanted to share. So that was a Microcomputer Guide. Then we got a license to publish PC World. PC World East Africa. From IDG, the international data group. We did very well. Then there was a time when Kenya went into a recession.
Yes.
And, funny thing about publishing, and, a lot of the media companies will tell you, the first budget that gets cut when there's a downturn
is magazines.
Is
marketing.
Yeah, it's marketing.
And that's what drives magazines, the advertising dollars.
Exactly. And not just magazines, because you see, and this is a very interesting thing, because you see, you would imagine that when there's a downturn, you want to market more so that you can sell your goods and services.
I mean, it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, but it's so the first budget that goes is marketing. So that impacted the business. And we just couldn't recover. We tanked. We tanked, tried to revive, nothing. So we sold the business for a penny, just so that the magazine doesn't completely die.
So what were the lessons there? I hear a lot of, and I'm a firm believer in that too. There's a lot of conversations around lessons and failure. So looking back, what were the lessons? Because
there were tons of lessons. There were tons of lessons, and I think some of those lessons are the ones that have really benefited CIO.
Yes.
Just to say a few of those lessons is, publishing is a very, very difficult business.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
No, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's a very difficult business. You need to pick your fight, because you see, a lot of people actually accuse us of being, serving big companies or ignoring small companies. You have to pick a fight that you can win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not about ignoring this audience versus this audience. It's how do you position your business so that you're able to
sustain and grow,
to sustain the business and grow it, and also serve a community that you believe in.
Correct.
A lot of Kenyan businesses, we just thrive. You go into the business, you push your business, whatever it is. You make money today, tomorrow you don't make money.
Yes.
But I think one of the things that we probably don't do well is to actually anticipate what could happen
Correct.
a few years from now.
Correct.
Because see, if we had anticipated that we'll have that downturn and it will affect our business, maybe we'll have given a thought of how would we have reacted. Probably would have reacted differently. But we never, we think tomorrow will be another day that will just come in, and
Correct.
so we don't do those long-term vision setting, especially when
Strategy.
the company, especially when the company
Planning.
is small. Planning, envisioning, looking for, sometimes create scenarios which could happen.
I'll come to that.
Yeah. So
Come to that.
yeah. So
Okay. Harry, I mean, look, today you're running an organization that is probably the preeminent tech publishing house across the continent. That's no mean feat. I mean, hats off to you.
Thank you.
Tell us about building CIO without funding. I have probably one of the few people who had a backstage view as my friend and as somebody who's been involved in the tech space for many years. Maybe you raised, because today, there's a new lexicon in town. I'm raising.
No,
Have you raised any funding?
no, we haven't.
How have you built, by all intents and purposes, a fantastic business over the years?
It's BST, Ali. It's BST. You know what BST is?
I may know, but please tell my listeners
Blood,
and my viewers.
Sweat, and tears. It's BST. And I think a lot of it also, as founders, we actually determine the kind of business we want to build.
Correct.
We could have raised. We could have decided, hey, I think this is too hard to grow organically, and therefore let's go out and raise money. But that's not the route we wanted to take. Grow organically and build value for yourselves and your stakeholders. We chose the hard way, which is okay. They're both hard, but I think organic growth is really painful. But I think sometimes I feel like you need to create that foundation so that even if you're going to sell a business or you're going to get investors to come into your business, you've created something that
value.
Some value that can give you a good return. So we haven't raised.
So it was a choice.
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
Yes.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Harry, what keeps you awake at night?
Oh man, there's like 45 people that we employ. Those are the people who keep me awake.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, because it's those 45 people that make things happen. It's those 45 people who have families that they have to put food on the table.
So on average, basically, you're saying you are taking care of, if you say each one of your people has 3 dependents on average, that's 45 times 3. That's about almost 200 people.
Yeah, those are the people who keep me awake.
That is pressure.
Yeah, it's
That is
quite
pressure.
some pressure. Because you see, we can all make money, but whatever we do, we have to do it with people. I think people is underestimated. People who work for you, a lot of the time you underestimate the amount of sacrifice
Correct.
that they put into your business. Because you see, it's your vision.
Correct.
It's not their vision. It's your vision, which you have sold to them, and they believe in it.
And you expect them to work with you.
Yes, you will. Yeah. So that, you can imagine telling somebody, hey, I'm going to take you to this destination. Then midway, you fail to do that. So
Or you change direction.
Or you change direction. And it's happened. So because once, like when the business we folded, PC World, it was hard.
It was painful.
It was painful because it's I had promised people, I had told people that this is what we need to do. So facing them and telling them, guys, we've hit
rock bottom.
That was it was not easy.
Harry, CIO, and its evolution. Being somebody who's followed CIO over the years and seeing your business model evolve, because it's not just the magazine, right?
No.
So at some point, you also got into events. And events is an interesting part of your business. Then COVID hit.
Yes.
That's what? 2020?
Yeah.
Early 2020? Tell us about CIO 4.0 and its transformation amid COVID. A mutual friend of ours, Moses Kemibarum, coined the term COVID-assisted digital transformation.
Yeah.
Tell us that story amid CADIT, as Moses would call it.
Yeah.
How have you transformed? How has it been, and where are you going from now?
So, COVID, it's still fascinating to me. In not in the sense of the devastation that it created, but the opportunities it created for a lot of other businesses. So, as you said, over the years, we've built a stack of services, products and services actually, and we help. Our goal is to help our community, which is vendors, technology vendors, and CIOs and heads of IT, heads of directors of IT, to find that meeting point. So we are a platform. We've created a platform, and sometimes when you say a platform, people think digital
Tech.
Yeah. So no, this is a platform that has a lot of things. It's digital. It's print.
It has nothing to do with the metaverse.
No, but we're getting there.
We are getting there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're getting there.
Okay.
So we've built that platform, and March 2020, I still remember when the president actually came and said, "This is the situation, and these are the measures that the government."
And we are
has
shutting
taken."
down, basically.
We're shutting down, and no events, no nothing. So at that time, events was probably about 60% of our revenue.
What?
Yeah. So, so you're like, okay, 50, and it was beginning of the year.
Yes.
So basically, what you're saying
It was first quarter.
is 60% of your revenue is out.
That's how you need to plan.
Yeah. So that really sent panic within the organization, and I think the whole the entire month of March, guys were numb. Guys couldn't think. There was a lot of panic, a lot of uncertainty, not just within us, but even just the industry in general. But the moment April landed, we actually knew what we wanted to do.
Give me blow by blow. I mean, one of the things that I do is help organizations in digital transformation.
Yes.
But hearing from somebody who's gone through it and literally transformed their business overnight. I mean, overnight, Harry. Give me blow by blow, please.
I'm not sure whether I can give you blow by blow, but I can try. I'll take you back to probably 2018. In
2018.
Yes. In 2018, we actually were ready to start offering webinars as a service.
You were ready. 2018.
Yes.
Did you anticipate COVID?
No.
Are you one of those guys we should
Absolutely not.
We should be talking to? These conspiracy theories.
Absolutely
Ulipanga
not.
boss.
Absolutely.
How did you?
So as a business,
Yes.
we have been one of the biggest traits of this business and the DNA of the business that we run is we experiment, we experiment.
Okay.
Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. Whatever succeeds, we move it forward. Whatever doesn't, we pack it. So we were experimenting because we started feeling that people were, because events is a big portion of our business.
Yes.
And we started feeling that there was a fatigue of people coming to events.
Physically. Really?
Leaving their offices and coming to, because you see, remember, our audience is a very senior people, so they don't have a lot of time. So coming to events, we could see they're struggling.
There's a bit of fatigue.
Yeah. So we needed to find something that they don't have to leave their office, but still attend the they still attend the event, whatever it is. And that's when we started looking at webinars. So that time there was just a few companies
who were offering this service.
Who were offering, as a SaaS, as a service. We spoke to them and they were like, okay, let's try. So we tried the technology and it worked. So what we did is now we had to work back now to create a product out of that, a product or service out of that, which we did. And we started pushing it to our customers. We got a few customers.
That's back 2018.
That's in 2018. So we got, I think, about 3 customers who were like,
but you kept at it.
We want to do this. No, wait. So we start executing. So our customer has given us a go ahead. So we plan an event, we shoot for it, and we invite people. So the customer wanted us to bring in 20 people. So we normally what we do is, because of attrition, we register like 40 to get 20. So we did 40 to get 20. The day of the event,
there seems to be some sort of formula. You just said almost out of your head. We registered 40 to get 20.
There's always we always think about the attrition rate.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see, somebody might register, then something happens, and he or she cannot attend, or such things. So 24, 40 for 20. So the day of the event, so we're all ready, and our speakers are ready, and time comes, and we wait for people to log in. So the first one comes in, the second one, then we go to 7, and that was it. 7 people
out of the expected 20.
Out of the expected 20, and out of the 40 we registered.
7 people only turned up.
Only 7 people, less than 10%. So we're like, okay, something didn't go quite right here. But anyway, so we're like, okay, let's try it again. So we did another event, another similar event, and that actually we got 4 people.
It went down.
Yes, it went down.
Okay.
So you can imagine a client who's paid me to do that. What will?
What was the reaction? Yeah? And how did you handle it?
It's about experimentation.
It is.
So it's a risk you're taking, and you just have to have those risk mitigation.
So I'm hearing a number of things: experimentation, risk, culture of getting things done.
Yeah. So we just went back to
the drawing board.
To the drawing board. So we said, okay, this won't work. So let's pack it. Yeah, so we
packed it.
We packed it.
Wow.
And we continued with our physical event, in person event. So March of 2020.
Yes.
When that announcement,
when it hit the fan.
Yeah, when it was made, as we were brainstorming on what to do, we remembered
you had done something.
We had done something. Yeah, we had done something about 2 years ago. Maybe this is the time to bring it back. So we're like, actually, yeah, maybe. So that's when we started. But you see, now we have to also train our customers.
Yes.
Train our customers, train our
internally
audience.
first.
Yeah, internally. In fact, our teams were also they couldn't believe that you could sell a webinar. They're like, how do you sell a webinar? So we started running events. I remember we actually did a few events together with you.
Yes, absolutely.
But then when we started doing those events, then everybody started doing webinars. Then you're like, okay, so how do I charge for doing a webinar? And there's everybody else
is doing webinars.
Is doing webinars. So that was quite tricky. So that's when now we started thinking of how do we differentiate ourselves, not just to differentiate for the sake of differentiating ourselves, but also actual value for our customers. We're always thinking customer. How do we drive more value? How do we drive more engagement with our customers. Because you see, at the end of the day, we do all this because of our customers and our community. So that's when we start thinking of actually taking this game to a different level, where we actually use a studio to execute our events.
Let me hold you for 1 minute on that studio. I came here one day and I'm seeing a studio. Just 2 weeks ago, I was here. There was nothing. I mean, I asked you, what's going on, Harry? A studio from where? I mean, we are sitting in one of the studios now. You
Yes.
actually have two.
Yes.
I mean, that is complete transformation. Tell us a bit about that.
So when we decided that we're going to use a studio to execute our events, we started looking around for a studio, and we found one studio. I'm not going to name the studio, but so we did 2 events in that studio, but they were not ready for us. Yeah, our vision, I think, was
way ahead of what?
Yeah, because you see, a lot of the studios that were there then were studios that you come in and you do your recording, and then you have post-production and all that. But our events, events are live. It's a live event. So you can't pre-record, then do post, then post it. No, it's live. So you're talking about massive bandwidth. Because you see, again, we wanted to push...
That infrastructure is a different story.
Completely. Because we wanted to push highest quality of video, for instance.
Some of them were live streaming.
Live streaming, yes.
Actually, most of them were live streaming.
All were live streaming. So you're pushing 1080p on video onto the internet. So you needed some massive bandwidth. You needed good cameras. You needed good lighting. You needed solid infrastructure to do that.
So needless to say, serious continuous learning.
Yes. So we realized they were not ready for us. And that's why we just decided that we are investing in our own studio, where we can have control of all the elements of the events that we want to push virtually.
Yes.
That's when we recruited some of the guys you're meeting today. And those guys, by the way, they've gone through some serious boot camps. They'll tell you one day, just look for Gerard or Dan.
I'll have them here as one of my guests one of these
and
days.
And ask them about getting links to read research on the best way.
So
to
learning curve like this.
Massive.
Okay. So from publishing to digital publishing to physical events to webinars to now actually owning your own studio. I mean, I cannot imagine the amount of learning and the amount of experimentation that you've had to do. What lessons for people and organizations and entrepreneurs who are evolving their businesses or starting their businesses? What lessons, Harry?
I think the biggest lesson is what, and this is not my thought, it's what Mark Zuckerberg said. Go out there, break them fast, learn out of them, and move forward.
Break things, move fast.
Move fast. You have to move fast. Because you see, so remember, whatever business you're in, there's like another 100 businesses like yours
100%.
going for your customers.
100%.
Yeah. So you have to move very quickly. Identify the things that work. The ones that work, you move with them with speed. It's all about execution.
Bottom line.
It's execution.
You can do whatever you want to do about planning and stuff like that. If you don't execute, it's just an academic exercise.
Yes, you have to execute.
Harry.
Yeah. So you go in, research, experiment, break things.
Execute. Harry, thank you so much. There you have it, guys. Thank you for listening. Harry, it's been great listening to you. Great lessons, great experiences. We hope that you have learned something. Harry, asante sana. We look forward to our next episode, which should be coming in the next 2 weeks or so. Thank you very much.